Okay, so here I'm going to score, slip, and stick to make my two pieces stick together. And what I'm going to use for this is my paper clip. Scoring is making little lines on here. I score it because my next part is slip, or actually water or clay and water mixture. Put your finger in. And the reason we have those lines is so that the water kind of soaks down in there, and it's going to act like a glue to hold it together. So score, slip, and then stick. I stick my pieces on. So I'm going to stick this piece on right here. If anyone's done clay before, you might have done where they tell you to score both pieces. That's also a really good way to do it. It's sufficient just to do one side. It's going to be good enough, but if you want to, you could also score the bottom of that piece, but that's not really necessary. And then I'm going to make sure and do the corners. The corners is often a place that people forget, and then it has a little hole or it'll separate. So really stick that on for my sides. And then I'm going to do the next part. And again, I'm going to get both corners. I'm going to score, slip, and stick both sides. I'm doing this super fast so that I don't take up too much of your time, but you might want to smooth it out a little bit more. But as you can see, this can get done. You will have time in one period to get this done. And then I'm going to put the top. Now the top, I'm going to show you how we're going to make the lid, because obviously once we stick the top on, it's not going to come back off. But I'm going to show you a trick on how we do this. So I'm going to put the top, score, slip, and stick. If it doesn't quite match up, it's okay. You just make it work. My clay is super soft right now. I'm hoping to have yours be not quite so soft, so you won't have the problems I'm having. But if it is, I'll show you in a minute how you can fix it. Sometimes it wants to kind of cave in a little bit. That's not a problem. We're going to fix that. Now, to make the lid, I take my paper clip and I cut a hole right in there. And you can do straight lines, you can do curvy lines, you can do whatever kind of lines you want. And I'm going all the way around. And I want you to think, how is this going to make a lid? Tell somebody beside you, how is this going to make a lid? Okay, and ta-da! There is the lid. Now is the part where you're going to have to take your finger, you're going to get your finger wet, go over it, smooth it. Smooth the joints in here. You're going to smooth this on the outside. When you're done smoothing it, if you want it to look like a piece of, say, cherry pie or something, you could take little pieces of clay and stick it on the outside to make it look like berries. Another thing that you can do is at every table I'm going to have this, this is a clay water mixture that's just been sitting, actually it's been sitting for an entire year. This makes really good to make it look like, oh, I don't know, like whipped cream or something. If you take your popsicle stick and just kind of smear it right on. You pretend it's icing or whipped cream, and you can smear it around and it'll give the texture just like icing, and then the next week we're going to glaze them. Also, your letters at your table that's in front of you, that's going to tell you what job you're going to do.